Hello everyone, welcome back to my IELTS stream. In today's video, we are going to talk about 5 different things which will help you improve your IELTS listening score. So if you want to know how you can score higher than what you're already scoring in your IELTS listening module, this video is for you. Also, this video is a continuation of the first part that we uploaded last week. So if you haven't watched that yet, we recommend that you watch it at least after finishing this video, or you can go watch it right now, because in that video we talk about the basics and today we are going to go in depth. So I hope that this video helps you, and if there is anything you want to ask us, then you can just comment it down below. Let's start. So these are the things that we are going to cover today. The first point is what are indicator words. So indicator words are also known as keywords, which will help you determine what to look for or what to hear out for when the audio is playing, and we are going to teach you how you can understand which words are the indicator words. Understand how they trick you by paraphrasing. So in this point, we will actually be showing you an excerpt from Cambridge 14 test 1 audio, test 1 listening. We will be showing you an excerpt from the test, and at the same time we will be reading out the audio script so that you know how the audio is paraphrasing of the questions in the booklet. Do not leave out the extra information given between 2 blanks, and what to do between 2 practice tests to improve your bands. So this will be one of the most important things that we discuss today, point number 4. And point number 5, why do most lose marks in sections 2 and 3? So after we discuss all these 4 points, it will become quite apparent why people lose marks in sections 2 and 3, but we will be going in detail and explaining that to you as well. What are indicator words? Now, indicator words are also known as keywords, and they actually help you to predict what would be there in the audio, and they would help you predict where you are more likely to hear the answer. Now, it sounds too difficult in the beginning, but let me read this out to you, and then when we read out the audio script, it will be easier for you to understand. Questions 11 and 12, these are from Cambridge 14 test 1 and section 2. Choose 2 letters A and E. Which 2 pieces of advice for the first week of an apprenticeship does the manager give? So in the question, the keywords or the indicator words are first week of apprenticeship, because the question is time specific. So it's possible that in the audio the manager might talk about something that would be in the longer term that might not apply to the first week of apprenticeship. So this is an indicator word for you, because you need to differentiate when you listen to the audio. What is the manager trying to say for the first week, and what is the manager saying for other time periods? So this is an indicator word, first week, indicator term. A. Now, with the MCQs, the options that you have to choose the answer from, there will be indicator words there as well. Get to know colleagues. So colleagues, this is an advice related to colleagues, so colleagues becomes an indicator word. Mistakes, questions, feedback, and challenges. So these are the indicator words that you should pay attention to when you are reading the question paper before the audio plays. So whenever you get the time, they give you a few seconds to read the questions before the audio starts. These are the indicator words that you should keep in mind, and if you are doing the pen and paper based test, you can even underline them on the question paper. Another example, section 3 from the same test. Carla and Rob were surprised to learn that coastal cities what. So Carla and Rob were surprised to learn. So the indicator words here are both Carla and Rob. So in the conversation you might hear that Carla was surprised to know about something, but Rob already knew it. Rob was surprised to discover something, but then Carla already knew it. So the indicator that this question is giving you is that they were both surprised to know something. According to Rob, building coastal cities near to rivers. So here the indicator is Rob, and building coastal cities near to rivers, coastal cities and rivers. So these are the indicator words for the second question. Option A for question 21, contain nearly half the world's population. B, include most of the world's largest cities. C, are growing twice as fast as other cities. So the keywords or the indicator words here are half, world population, include most of the world's largest cities, most, not all, not half, not less than half, not few, not several, but most. So you should always look out for words that are time specific, that are quantity specific, and you should pay attention to them, because they will try to trick you and actually say something related to world's largest cities but not actually say the word most. So if you hear most in the audio and if you hear world's largest cities, it might be the answer. But what some students do is that they hear world's largest cities and they don't really pay attention to how much, and they tick the answer or they write down the letter B and they get the wrong answer. Are growing twice as fast as other cities. Twice, not just faster than other cities, twice. There is speed given here, so this also becomes an indicator word. According to Rob, building coastal cities near to rivers. A, may bring pollution to the city. Bring pollution to cities. The process, the direction, pollution to cities, indicator. May reduce the land available for agriculture. Agriculture, land specific to agriculture. May mean the countryside is spoiled by industry. The countryside is spoiled by industry. So these are the indicator words. I know it is quite difficult to actually point everything out and keep everything in your mind, but as you practice and as you apply these particular ideas, it will become easier for you and you would be able to do the same thing on a much faster pace. What do Rob and Carla think that authorities in Miami should do immediately? So the keyword here is immediately. What do they agree should be the priority for international action? So what do they agree at? So this is an indicator that not just Carla, not just Rob, but both of them agree that what should be the priority for international action. So international action is the case here, not just the case for Miami or one particular place or two or something around that area, but international, involving more than one country. Now that we have explained it to you what are indicator words, we are now going to merge that point with our next point, which is how to understand that they trick you by paraphrasing. What we are going to do is we are going to read out the audio script to you, and you are supposed to watch out for words which might be synonyms of the indicator words which are present in the question paper. So by this you will understand that you first need to know what are the indicator words, and then listen out in the audio that there would be paraphrasing or synonyms of these indicator words in the audio, and that's how you will be able to track your answer. Let us look at this question again. Which two pieces of advice for the first week of apprenticeship does the manager give? Get to know colleagues, learn from any mistakes, ask lots of questions, react positively to feedback, enjoy new challenges. Now we are going to read the audio script. The audio script is what you are going to listen in the audio of the test. Good morning everyone. My name is Janet Parker and I am the Human Resource Manager. We are very happy to welcome you to your new apprenticeship. I hope that the next 6 months will be a positive and enjoyable experience for you. I'd like to start with some general advice about being an apprentice. Most of you have very little or no experience of working for a big organization, and the first week or so may be quite challenging. There will be a lot of new information to take in, but don't worry too much about trying to remember everything. The important thing is to check with someone if you're not sure what to do. You'll find your supervisor is very approachable and won't mind explaining things or helping you out. So the question talks about first week, and in the audio we did point out first week, and the options are: get to know colleagues, learn from any mistakes, ask lots of questions. So ask lots of questions. So questions was an indicator word, as we told you the last time. And apart from the word question, apart from using the word question, or apart from using a synonym for question, they have phrased it away. I mean to say that they have written a whole sentence just for the word question, or they have written a phrase or a clause. Check with someone if you are not sure what to do. Check with someone means that you should ask someone if you are not sure what to do. So this is how they have paraphrased. The information given in the question paper is now paraphrased in the audio, and this is how you find the answer. First you see which is the indicator word, and then you hear out for paraphrasing of the indicator word, because if you think that the same indicator word like question is going to be said in the audio, you might not actually find it, you might not actually hear it, and you might actually end up losing marks over here. But you should be aware that the indicator word given in the question will be paraphrased in the audio. Now let's look ahead. You're here to learn, so make the most of that opportunity. You'll be spending time in different departments during your first week. So make an effort to talk to as many people as possible about their work. You'll make some new friends and find out lots of useful information. Talk to as many people as possible. You'll be spending some time in different departments during your first week. Okay, so this is again about the first week, and the audio is saying talk to as many people as possible. So get to know colleagues. This is what the audio is trying to say. Talk to a lot of people. They are not asking you to talk to people on social media or talk to your neighbors or your friends. No, they're talking about the department. You can see here, you'll be spending time in different departments during your first week, so make an effort to talk to as many people as possible about their work. So you are talking to people you are working with, and you are getting to know about their work. So obviously it is about colleagues, it is not about anyone else. So this is how, instead of using the word colleague, or instead of using a straightaway synonym of colleague, they have written out this whole sentence, or they will speak out this whole sentence that would mean the same thing as given in the question paper, but not the exact same words. Get to know colleagues. This is how they trick you. This is how it happens. Now, what is the importance of extra information given between blanks? Now let's see, you have section 4 here. Introduction, more energy required because growth in population and dash. Now before actually going into it, we should read the instructions. Complete the notes below, write one word only for each answer. Marine renewable energy, ocean energy. Introduction, more energy required because of growth in population and blank. What's needed? Renewable energy sources, methods that won't create pollution, wave energy. Advantage, waves provide a blank source of renewable energy. Electricity can be generated using offshore or onshore systems. Onshore systems may use a reservoir. So what happens with students who are actually really curious and really focused on listening out for the answers is that they sometimes disregard the importance of what the extra information is given between the blanks, and they just try and hear out for the next indicator word like advantage or waves or renewable energy. Now people make this mistake, and they lose track of what the audio is talking about. Now, in section 4 especially, there is just one person talking, and the sequence of the talk, like the topics, what they touch during the talk, are according to what is given in the question paper. So watching out for the extra information given between the blanks tells you exactly at what point is the speaker going to arrive at the next answer. So for example, if the speaker has spoken about the first answer, the 31st answer in this case, then he or she will go ahead and talk about the extra information between 31 and 32. So he or she is going to cover this part first and then slowly move on to 32. So if you feel that you found the answer for 31 and you wrote it down, and now you're jumping and you're listening and you're waiting for 32, advantages for waves, I have to listen for advantages for waves, and you don't pay attention to the audio, you don't pay attention to these pieces of information given in the textbook, you will never know why is the speaker taking so much time to reach to the second answer, because you are not paying attention to what the sequence of that the speaker is going to follow. Renewable energy sources and methods that won't create pollution will be mentioned in the audio, and you should pay attention to the question and this information, because only after the speaker talks about these 2 points, he or she will move to answer number 32. So that is the importance of the extra information given between blanks. Don't underestimate its importance, and don't just overlook in a way that, you know, there is no blank here, so I don't need to pay any attention to this. You do. You need to pay attention to every single word in the listening test. Now, this is the most important piece of advice that one can ever give you regarding the listening test, or even the reading test, or even the writing or the speaking test. Why? Because if you finish one test and you move on to another test, you're just recklessly practicing, and there are students in my experience who say, ma'am, we have finished Cambridge 1 to Cambridge 15 and we are still not scoring 6 in listening or reading. So why does that happen? You need to go in, check your answer sheet, compare it to the answer sheet given at the back of the book, and you need to see where you made mistakes. Did you make mistakes in section 2? Did you make mistakes in section 4? Now, in section 2, you made mistakes in MCQs. That means you need to pay attention to MCQs. What you should do now, after knowing that you made mistakes in MCQs and that's where you lost most of your marks, you should go back to the same question paper. You should go back and play the same audio again, and you should listen where you made the mistake. You should listen where they were successful in tricking you to tick mark at the wrong option. So this is how you practice listening. You need to go back, you need to listen back to the audio, especially the part where you made a mistake, and you need to see how you chose the wrong answer, or how you wrote the wrong answer. And to go one step ahead, if you still don't understand, if you're practicing through YouTube or some other media, you can slow down the speed of the audio and you can concentrate more. You can get rid of all your distractions, and you can track down how you went into the wrong direction and chose the wrong answer. After doing this only, should you move on to the next practice test. If you didn't do this, and if you think that just solving a lot of tests and just eating up your teacher's brain is going to get you good bands, that's not going to happen. That will not happen even with a fluent speaker of the English language. That will not happen even with someone who has been throughout in the English medium education. That will not happen for anyone. You need to analyze where you're lagging behind. You need to work on your mistakes and not repeat them in the next test that you do. That way, even if you are not practicing a hell lot, still you will score good. At least you will see improvement. The point of practice is to see improvement. The point of practice is not just finishing up more and more papers. Please keep that in mind if you want to score good. Now we are at the last point of our tips for you. Section 2 and Section 3 are more difficult than what they're usually talked about. What students assume is that Section 4 is the most difficult, and yes, it might be the most difficult. Why? Because it's academic in nature. But Section 3 is also a bit academic or educational in nature, you can call it. What makes Section 4 easier is that it is fill in the blanks most of the time, and there's just one speaker. If you are able to concentrate on the speaker, and if you're able to concentrate here in the question paper, you will most probably score good. But the problem with Section 3 is that it has 2 or more speakers. If you have 2 or more speakers, if there is a male voice, if there's a female voice, and then there is another male's voice who is a bit older in age, so you have to focus on all the things. Another thing is that, just like in the beginning of the video, I talked about the Section 3 of this particular Cambridge test, Carla and Rob. So you need to pay attention to what both of them are saying. Is Carla agreeing with Rob or not? Is Rob surprised listening to what Carla has said? Because that is the type of question you will get in Section 3. Now, question 21 particularly here. Carla and Rob was surprised to learn that coastal cities so and so. So now you need to pay attention on Carla and Rob, that was just one of them surprised on this particular topic. Was Rob surprised on this topic and Carla was surprised on something else? But what were they both surprised on? This is where it becomes difficult. Now, according to Rob, building coastal cities near to rivers causes what? So Carla will also have an opinion on the same thing. Now if you tick mark the option which corresponds to Carla's opinion, you will lose marks. You need to pay attention to particularly Rob in this question, not Carla. What do Rob and Carla think that the authorities in Miami should do? Now again, this is something where they both should agree, and not just one of them, not just one of their opinion. What do they agree should be the priority? The last question. Again, they should agree. So if they're talking and if Rob says, I think this should happen, Carla says, no, I think something else should happen. But then Rob says, oh no, there is something else. Oh yes, this is right. And then Carla says, oh yes, this is right. This is how you get your answers in the Section 3. Another thing that makes it even more difficult is that the 3 or 4 options in the MCQs that they gave you, all of them are very close to each other, and all of them will be spoken in the audio. This makes it so confusing for a lot of students, because after the test they come up to the teacher and they say, ma'am, this was spoken about in the audio, so why isn't this the answer? It was spoken about, but it is not the answer because it's not answering the question. It is not the answer because the question is asking about Rob, and this particular statement was given by Carla, not by Rob. So this is what makes Section 3 more difficult. Apart from this, Section 2 is also MCQs, and you might be given a list of 5 different options, and you might need to choose only 3 of them for 4 different questions. So in short, MCQs are difficult as compared to blanks, and even fluent students face the issue in MCQs. So that is why Section 2 and 3 are more difficult than what they are usually talked about, and you should pay attention to Section 2 and 3. At the end of the video, I just want to say that please subscribe to our channel and support us in our growth. And if you need any guidance in your IELTS preparation, we will be more than happy to help you.